So the beginning of this year, 2026, Happy New Year, we've been asking ourselves a question, not a scary one or a doom and gloom one or all like that, just a reflective question that makes you really think, what if this were your last year on Earth? How would you spend it? This isn't about fear or endings, it's about slowing life right down, appreciating the little things and absolutely maximising 2026. It's about realising, I suppose, that we're not going to be here forever. Do you know what I mean? You get up, you have your breakfast, you go to work, you come home, you have your dinner, you watch TV, you go to bed, you go to work, and you're just like that on repeat for like 50 years on the 9 to 5 system, which is why van life is so different. So Emma, if this were your last year on Earth, how do you think you can maximise it if it really were your last year on Earth?
If it really was, I don't know. I think just by like enjoying every moment for me, that's what it's about. I think it's about kind of appreciating you say the small things in life, but they're not small. I like appreciating the trees and the sea and just your general kind of nature stuff, appreciating that more and appreciating like the basic things in life that we take for granted. And I think if you do that, you slow everything right down and then you make that year last like 10 times longer. That's what I think I'd do.
I've lost my stick, which is there, and I've lost my brew. Ow! I'll do from the other side. Welcome back to your Fireside Fridays. Happy New Year, everybody, 2026. And yeah, we just kind of got talking really, like over this last couple of days, about how to maximise this year, because there is this misconception, is that the word? There's this idea, isn't there, as everybody goes through the day-to-day life, no matter whether you're living in a van or whether you live in a house or whatever, people kind of go through the day-to-day life with this mindset of we're going to live forever. And the truth of the matter is we're not. But as human beings, it's almost like we're programmed to not remember that. And while we don't want to be doom and gloom and kind of, having that on our minds every day, all day, it is important to kind of almost reflect, I think, on the fact that we're not going to be here forever. And this idea, like we've talked about in other vlogs, haven't we, where it's like the 9 to 5, the system where it's just like you're like on repeat, you're like a little robot, on repeat. We did the 9 to 5 for years and years and years, and that's how it felt for us, like we were just on repeat. And you do that for 50 years. That's most, like half of your life, more than half of your life maybe, and then in the hope that one day you might get to do what you want and you might get that retirement where you can go on a cruise or whatever. And I think van life for us and the way that we live, as we've said before, is just about slowing that right down and trying to live as much as you possibly can where it's in the moment. Like you're not, as we said in the last vlog on Tuesday, like you're not kind of waiting for the next thing, or you're not looking back and wishing, like you're just living in this present moment. Lenny's going out, look. And I think van life just really helps you do that. Like it really helps you kind of live in that moment, maximise your life and maximise the year. It's almost like we need to slow time down. If we can make every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month count like it were your last day on Earth, how much more can you maximise that? So we're just going to have a little chat about it, a little chat with a brew and a biscuit about that basically. Just the idea of not wasting this year at all.
You better get Lenny going again.
I'm trying, Emma, to get him going again. Look at Wilson, the little windmill going. Go on, Wilson. Come on, Lenny.
I think the thing is, though, as well, when we're talking about kind of not being in that kind of drudgery of the same thing day in, day out and that type of thing, nobody's saying, before we get a floodload of comments, nobody's saying don't go to work or don't do this or don't do that, because Reese is a bit more eccentric than I am with that. And people do have to go to work and do have to earn money. Yeah, but you are. You just dump everything, do you know? And in reality, that's not life, is it, right? Reality is that, we'd have to go to work. But if going to work wasn't working, if you know what I mean, so if going to work was something that you enjoyed doing, there's that saying, isn't there, like you'll never work a day in your life if you do something you enjoy, something like that. So if you were to think, well, this is my last year, of course you're going to want purpose, aren't you? Of course you're going to want a reason to get up in the morning. And so that might be to go off on adventures and do different things, but it also might be to go to work and to do something that you feel is meaningful. So, you know, even that, just find, it might even be like looking at your job, looking at what you're doing and trying to pick something that you enjoy doing, that you get something out of. You know, me and Reese work all hours, like loads more hours than what you would do in a 9 to 5. But we enjoy it. We love what we do. We absolutely love it, you know. And so you put all the effort into it, and it's fun, isn't it? It's enjoyable. Anyway, I am still poorly. For them of you that are thinking I sound like Phyllis. What was she off of? Coronation Street, I think, or East End. I think it was Corrie. Anyway, yeah, I am still poorly, but I'm not moaning about it. And the reason I'm not moaning about it is because that's my New Year's resolution, is I'm not going to whinge. I'm not going to whinge, I'm not going to moan. I'm going to find the good in absolutely everything. That's my New Year's resolution. And I think that ties in quite nicely, doesn't it? To if this were your last year, what would you do? Because you'd find the good in everything, wouldn't you? You'd find the good in the tiniest little things. You're sweltering, love.
Yeah, I'm not doing Full Monty, don't worry. Remember that film, Full Monty? It's just that between Wilson and Lenny, Wilson the windmill, making it even hotter than it already is. I'm absolutely burning up. Where's my hat? So, yeah, New Year's resolutions. Good at the New Year's. Does anybody stick to New Year's resolutions? I don't normally stick to New Year's resolutions. But I do want to, I really genuinely want to do this thing where I want to go through 2026 like it was my last year on earth, and I want to absolutely squeeze, like you were squeezing, I don't know.
A lemon.
A lemon. Yeah, I didn't want that as the example. But as though you were like squeezing every
Like you're
single...
wringing out the dishcloth of life, Reese.
Yes, exactly that. So, I've set myself a list, and on that list, I'm going to learn Spanish. I'm finally going to do it. I've always wanted to do it. I'm going to learn Spanish. I'm going to keep practicing and learn my handpan. So the handpan, if you've been following us for ages, I wanted that instrument for ages. And then ended up getting one from a lovely, lovely guy. And but we've not been able to keep it in the van, so it's just in storage at the minute. So it's like... Yeah, I want to. Emma's making me a little space for it, and I want to learn that. Like I've got things that you know, goals like I want to do. I'm gonna get back in shape because my fitness is horrific, and no, that does not mean custard creams are going away. I'm gonna get fit or fitter without losing my custard creams.
We're going to limit them, Reese.
Lenny's going out again.
We're going to limit the custard
they're funny,
creams.
aren't they? Like New Year's resolutions. My mum bought me a glove. Where's that gone? Where's my glove?
What are you doing?
I've just... New Year's resolutions are funny because nobody ever sticks to them, do they? I've never stuck to them anyway. Comment below what your New Year's resolutions are. Yeah, I guess the message of this video is don't wait, you know, don't wait to do things. We always say on this channel, like, if you're in the 9 to 5, if you're in the system and you're happy, a lot of people are. And that must be bliss, actually. It must be bliss to be happy within that world. We weren't happy. I certainly weren't happy in that world. But I think the message today, and the thing that I've been really reflecting on, for myself as well, is don't wait. You know, don't wait. If there's something you want to do, you know, don't wait. And it's easier said than done. And like Emma said, I'm quite eccentric with it. And I feel quite strongly from it. My friend once told me this parable, and I can't remember it properly, but it's basically this guy that goes to work, and his dream is to go fishing, to spend his life fishing. And then one day his boss rings him and is like, "Why, Ryan?" He's like, "I've gone fishing." Because why wait? I want to go fishing. And yes, that's easier said than done, and I understand that people have bills and mortgages and things like that, which is why van life could be an option for some people to free you up, because what van life does is it minimalises your life. It minimalises your life in such a way where you can do those things. If you like fishing, you can go fishing, right? I don't like fishing, so I don't really know why I'm using that as an example. But it is that minimalistic way of living that does allow you to do those things. If you've got a dream in 2026, do your absolute best to do it. And it doesn't have to be extravagant. You don't have to travel the world to live your dream, or even create a dream. Think, how can I maximize 2026? You know, another one of mine is to write a book. You know, I want to write a book about all our van life travels and travels on the road and things like that, because I want to do something that I look back and remember 2026 for. You know, maybe yours is it might even be to make your garden into a little haven that you can sit in the summer. You know, start that now. Maybe that's your dream. Maybe it's to go walking more in forests, or, you know, because when you're out in forests and stuff, you appreciate life. Life slows down. You stop and watch the little butterfly, or the little, you know, the little bird, or the flowers, or whatever it is, and you begin to appreciate more. So if you've got a dream, don't wait to do it, you know, just do it as soon as you possibly can. And I think the thing that I feel most strongly about in this world is the yeah buts, right? And I did this myself, and I know other people close to me that do it, where it's like, yeah but, and the horrible, harsh reality is, and I'll use myself as an example, is I might get knocked down by a bus next week. So if I spend 2026 going, yeah, I don't know, it's just something off the top of my head, I can't spend 2 months in Ireland because X, Y, and Z, I might get knocked down by a bus in 6 months' time, and I might have never gone to Ireland. And I've just got this really, really, really strong, and I always have had really, really strong opinion of, please don't wait. Like, don't wait, because we only have a small amount of time on earth, I've said this before, and then we're not here forever. You know, I do believe that life goes on after this one, but on earth, you know, we're not here for that, so don't wait. And a lot of people, including myself, spend their life going, yeah, but, or when I retire, or next year, right? If you've got a dream and you want to do something and you feel passionately about something, please don't wait. That's my opinion, right? And it is only an opinion, and it is quite a strong opinion, and Emma balances me out a little bit with that opinion, but that's where my heart is, and that's where my passion is in life, really. Like, that's how I live my life, or try to live my life. And so, yeah, it's just a really deep conversation, this, innit? But it is just about not waiting. And maybe you're not interested in living in a van. But van life does offer you the closest thing to that I think I've ever found, where life just becomes so simple. It slows time right down, like we said on Tuesday's vlog. It slows it right down, where even a night away, you know, even a night away feels like a week, and you're like, was that just last night? Because it just slows life right down. It's not busy, and you're just living in the absolute moment. I went off on a bit of a tangent there, didn't I? But that's basically where my head's at the start of 2026. Alright, Gretel the kettle. I'm making Emma a hot drink because she's really struggling, bless you, aren't you? The honest truth, honest is the best policy, isn't it? And the honest truth is, this video idea just came over the last couple of days. We've been so poorly over Christmas time. You can probably still hear it in my voice as well. We've been so poorly. And yeah, we were just like, what are we going to chat about? And because we were already reflecting on this idea of what if 2026 was our last year, like how are we going to spend it? How are we going to maximise that year living in the van and exploring and stuff? And yeah, we were just like that. So I hope this is all right, because we're just both our throats are so painful with this flu thing that we've had. That we're kind of winging it on this episode, on this Fireside Friday. So if you are new here and you're wondering what we're doing, Fireside Fridays are on a Friday at 7 p.m. and we talk about all things van life and just chats in front of little Lenny about life, basically. And then Tuesdays we travel about in our little van called Romany across the UK and Europe. Just travelling and stuff. So
if they are here and they're wondering what we're doing, they can join the club, because I'm beginning to wonder what I'm doing as well.
Oh, bless you. So I'm just making a nice hot drink on Gretel the kettle. Look at state of Gretel now.
We're not mourning though, Reese. No mourning. No mourning.
No mourning. We read a poem
New Year's
out.
resolution.
We read a poem out about Gretel, if you didn't see that. I had to do a forfeit and read this poem out on a bridge.
You need to do the other poem.
Andrea sent us a lovely poem about our suitcases, so we're going to read that out in this episode.
Do you know what though? We're talking about, like, what would you do differently almost, aren't you, really? You're saying if you knew that this were your last year, what would you do differently? And the thing is, and this is the bit that I think is amazing, is that I don't think I'd do much differently. I genuinely don't. I think take me back, 10 years, there'd have been a lot I'd have done differently. But now, with the way that we live our life now, I don't think there's that much I would do differently. Obviously, you'd kind of want to, you've got that side of things where you want to spend loads of time with your family, your friends, all that sort of stuff. But I don't want to think about it like that. I kind of like to think about it like, almost like if it were my last year and I were going to be beamed up somewhere, do you know what I mean? I like to think of it like that because it's kind of less, like I don't like to get bogged down in that kind of morbid side of stuff. But I think, like what would you do to maximise your life in 2026? That's my thing that I'd like to ask really, is what would you do to maximise your life in 2026? And I don't think I'd do it much different. Genuinely, I don't.
Why? What's good about it? Why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it any differently?
Because
What makes it so good? That's interesting, that, isn't it?
Because, like, we travel all over, so I get to see loads of different places. I get to meet loads of different people. I get to kind of have these instant small friendships with people that I might only meet once, but yet they massively impact your life in that moment or whatever. You might only just be having a cup of tea with somebody that you've pulled up at the side of a van or whatever, but I have those great moments like that. I get to spend all my time with you, and I love being with you.
Aww.
And I know I do. I know you do get on my nerves a lot, but I really do love being with you as well. And I live in this beautiful, like, hobbit house on wheels. Like, it's gorgeous. Couldn't be any more happier with that. And I get to still see my family and my friends as well. And come back and spend time with them sometimes as well, which is awesome as well. And I just can't think, right, what I'd want to do differently. I can't think what it would be. Because everything in the van is, like you say, time slows down. So I appreciate all of it's like minimalises your life, like Reese says. Being in the van, it kind of like minimalistic, but it maximises your life experience, if that makes sense. So you value everything from a little bit of water to, a nice park up to, oh, it's hard, darling. Because I like magic. Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard one.
Oh, Lenny. Bloody red hot, this.
It's nice. It's lovely.
It bit me twice this week. So my mum bought me this glove for Christmas. How good is that? So I don't keep biting me. Yeah, I think everything Emma says, I don't think I'd change much either, really. Like, I mean, I absolutely love our life. Like, absolutely love being out on the open road, travelling, the people you meet. It's just epic, isn't it? Like,
It is epic. We get to experience so much. I think I'd want to, like you said earlier, I'd want to put more effort maybe into things that I don't know that I want to do, but that don't, because I do things that I want to do. I don't know how to word it. Do you know, like crafts and things for yourself, type of thing.
Yeah.
Things to like occupy your mind more and do something that's just for you.
That's why I want to kind of do my Spanish, learn my handpan, like stuff that grows you as a person,
I definitely want to do that more creative stuff. That definitely want to do more of that in 26.
I think 26. I mean, we are going to go to Europe. We're going to do Spain. We're not doing France again this time. We're not doing. I'm not doing it.
It's all shut.
If you saw our France episodes, the whole country were closed. It was so funny. And yeah, so go back and watch them France ones.
We might do it just one day though, to go and see my cousin.
Yeah, we'll go see Emma's cousin.
But the rest of it we're not doing.
But the rest of it we're not doing, so we're going to hot foot it into Spain, probably do Portugal. This year, if I could do this year, I do want to go to Norway. I know you don't, because she thinks it's cold in Norway. Well, it is cold, but in an ideal world, I'd want to do Norway.
I'll just be poorly all the time.
And I really, 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 really want to do Ireland. Like, I really want to do Ireland. Even if we spend like a couple of weeks there just wandering about.
Is it going to be cold there?
You'll love it. You love Liverpool.
Somebody commented and said...
It's similar, apparently.
I think they said the West Coast in like June or July or something is warmer or something. Somebody commented. It's definitely in the comments.
Yeah, want to do Ireland in 2026. Yeah, and just like, Spanish handpan, just maximising it. But what I really, really want to do is
What do you really want to do, Reese?
what I really want to do, Emma.
That's that Spice Girls song, that,
Yeah,
isn't it?
well, do you tell me what you
really,
want to do?
what really want.
But what I really want to do, I can't.
Tell us,
God, I've
Reese.
got that song in my head now. I'm gonna do.
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I want.
I wanna.
Wally.
I really, really, really want it. What do you really, really, really want to do?
I really, really, really want to get up every morning. I do, Emma, because this is a serious vlog, is this? It's a
No, because now
meaningful
you
vlog.
keep saying I really, really, really want it, and all I keep thinking of is Spice Girls.
I don't. It's a serious, deep conversation.
You want to wake up every morning.
Yeah.
That's a start.
I know,
it's an
it's a good
aim.
start,
It's a
that I
good
do.
start, yeah.
But actually, that's about gratitude, isn't it? Waking up every morning and going, wow, I'm alive, is gratitude.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
That's
It
being
is.
grateful
It
before
is.
you've even got out of bed.
It is, that is very
But
true.
it's going to sound ridiculous, this, because we live in a van. But even I know in myself, my mindset is to wake up and begin editing or begin filming or let's go here, let's go there, let's go, do you know what I mean? Let's explore, whatever. And what I'm going to start doing as part of my New Year's resolution to maximise 2026, to squeeze it like a little lemon, is to just stop, put the camera down and just sit, not even with a brew, just sit. I suppose you'd call it meditation, wouldn't you? But meditation comes in all forms, and just sit and just look at a tree. As daft as that sounds, just look at a tree and just think of how complex that tree is.
Yeah.
It's a plant, Emma, is a tree.
Although, to be honest, Reese, you tried this. You
I
tried
fail
an hour.
at
You
these
tried
things.
silence for a day, and you managed about 20 minutes.
Now we're in Portugal. That's because you interrupted it.
I didn't interrupt
did,
it. It
talking
was
about a
Daisy
donkey.
barking or something, wasn't it, that
You talked
interrupted
about a
it?
donkey. But no, I do. I want to just sit and almost get into a habit of doing that. I want to start my cold water swimming again because I love doing that. And I think that really quietens your mind. And when your mind's quiet, the world becomes more colourful.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
because you begin to appreciate every little thing, and that's, I suppose, in order to maximise my 2026, I want to appreciate littler
The
things
smaller things
in life. And I think van life will help me do that.
I'm quite a small thing. You could appreciate me.
I do appreciate you. I've
And-
just made you a brew.
And the Chihuahua.
I've just
as
made
well,
you a
our
brew. She's
Daisy.
asleep down
You
there.
can appreciate her.
I do appreciate it.
You don't when she's barking
I
at
don't
you.
when she's barking though, because she gives me a migraine. So, yeah, well, let us know what you're gonna do for 2026. How are you gonna maximise it? It's like, are you gonna go to the extreme and quit your job and live in a van, or are you just gonna? And there's no right or wrong with this, but are you gonna go right? Every Saturday I'm gonna start walking because that's what I've always wanted to do. Let us know in the comments. Are we all gonna do it? Because there is this thing with van life, and I don't want this episode to come across like that. If you don't live in a van and you go to work, there's no judgment. A lot of the van life community go, oh, if you're not full time in a van, then you're not a van lifer.
No, that's nonsense.
And we never
innit?
say
It's
that.
nonsense.
If you've got a little van, you go out on a weekend, or
Yeah.
even if you wake up and you enjoy walking, you do you. Never, ever, ever, ever let anybody tell you you're doing life wrong, right? You do you. Well, it's just us openly sharing our thoughts on this, isn't it, really? But yeah, maybe you are going to go to that extreme. Maybe you're going to go, right, this is my year where I'm going to move out of my house, I'm going to get a van, and I'm going to go travelling. Or maybe you are travelling without a van. Or like I say, maybe it's just that you're going to create a small little Japanese garden in corner of your garden to do that Zen thing where they do it, Emma.
With rake.
Yeah, with raking sand. Maybe you're going to do that. Let us know
Maybe
in the
you're gonna
comments
do that.
what you're going to do.
I think there's so many things that you can do to maximise your year, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
There's so many, and I think for me, if you, and I might, I've never been in that position, but I would imagine, and from people that I've kind of had that have been close to me, that have been given news that their health ain't great or whatever, and they've been given that kind of awful news. I've always said the same thing, that it's like what you long for in that moment that you get that news, or in those last few days of when you're here, is to just go to the beach one more time, to just smell the sea air one more time, to walk on the sand one more time, to be in the woods one more time. Do you know what I mean?
It's
You're not
absolutely
longing
that.
to,
No,
to drive in your
I've heard that
Ferrari,
as
are
well.
you?
Like you don't look back and go, no.
It's family,
It's
friends,
family,
and
friends, and
environment,
nature
yeah,
that
nature,
people say
yeah.
they appreciate, don't they, so much? And I suppose it is just doing that now, isn't it? It's appreciating that now.
Well, I think there's a lot of people, unfortunately, that because we do work hard, don't we? We all work hard. You know, we work hard.
Yeah, too
but
hard.
there are a lot of people that are going and they're working really hard, and they're getting to a point of where the years almost flown by. Do you know what I mean? And they're not in touch with their friends like they should be. They're not in touch with their family like they should be, or whatever. And not that you have to do that, but it should give you something to do that, shouldn't it? You know. And people will go like a whole year and be, oh, you know, oh, I've just been really busy. You know how many times do you hear that where people go, oh, I'm sorry I haven't contacted you. I've just been really busy. But you're never too busy, are you, to be able to pick up a phone and have a conversation with somebody. And if you are, then you've got to ask yourself, why aren't you?
Yeah.
You are. If you are so rushed
I'm
off your
terrible at
feet
that, mate,
that you
bringing
don't
people.
have 5 minutes to be able to sit down and think, I really miss this person, I haven't spoken to this person in a while, then you need to slow your life down, don't you?
Yeah,
You need to take a step back and you need to slow your life down.
Yeah.
And then you've got time
Because it's
then.
prioritising, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of somebody in particular that doesn't do that, and this person just, they work all hours God sends, and they've never got any time to do anything or any you know, for whatever, and they're so busy, and then they go, you know, they might go on holiday once a year or whatever, and that holiday might be absolutely epic, but then they're straight back to work, working like 18, 19-hour days, you know, and it's just like, slow down, innit?
Yeah, slow down, appreciate.
God, he's hot him tonight.
Slow down and appreciate everything around you, and I don't know, just smell the roses. It's
Smell
these
the
old sayings,
roses.
innit?
It
But
is,
it is right.
You're right, yeah.
We've been saying the same thing for centuries, but we still do the same
know.
things wrong, don't we? You know, and so I think if you were to know that your time, and this was your time, your last year, or it were your closest loved ones last year, what would you be doing?
Yeah,
And I
then
think
do
that's
that
the
now.
thing, and do it, yeah,
Do
it
that right now.
with everything that you've got. Go for it, you know.
I hope this has sounded all right. I think we've gone off on little tangents. I'll say we're not well, and so it's just like we're just
Stop
chatting.
moaning. We're not moaning,
We're just-
Reese.
oh, no.
We're having no
Oh, God,
moaning.
No, moan, don't I? Damn. But no, I hope this is sounding all right, and it's just reflecting. I think it's healthy to reflect at the start of every year on the last year and this year. You know, it's just healthy.
I think sometimes as well we talk about like kind of living in the moment, which I think is really important. We talked about that last week, didn't we, on Tuesday? And I think that's really important. But also like looking back, I think if you're living in the past, that's different. But I think looking back and reflecting on the year that you've just had and appreciating how far you've come, because some people will have made plans to like, I just want to be able to do this, I want to be able to do that, and they might not be able to just walk away from the job or walk away from the life, whatever, but they've made steps and they've made plans. And even if they've just done one little thing towards that plan that they wanted to do, you've got to remember it took us 10 years to get to where we want to be.
To where we wanted to be.
So, you know, you've got to think it's the same thing for other people as well sometime. And it might take them, they might have just done one little step forward in the direction that they want. And sometimes I think we just forget to think, that's amazing that you've done that.
Yeah.
That is amazing. If you've taken a step, it's amazing.
Well, yeah,
any
brilliant.
step that you've taken in that direction of where you want to be in
steps,
your life,
it is steps,
it's amazing.
Just keep, and I read this book once, and we're encouraging you to just take one step a day, one step towards your goal and your dream every single day. And if you keep moving forward with one step a day, then this book will like, oh, you're going to get there eventually.
And you might be going to work every single day and working, you know, 10, 12 hours a day, but you're still taking that one little step every month, every week, whatever it is, where you go, but I've done this towards my goal.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's all that matters,
isn't
isn't it? Is that you're taking those steps, I think.
It is. We're going to read this poem out now about Andrea's
come on.
suitcase. So our storage solution are these suitcases here that we've built. We built like, well, we used to have a sink here, and then we decided to take the sink out and have these suitcases. So this one's called Dolly, and this one's called Andrea. And Andrea actually sent us a poem in about this suitcase, because as I say, somebody sent us a poem in about Gretel when Gretel broke, and then Andrea sent us. So we're going to read this poem out. It's epic.
Andrea's been fulfilling her 2025 already, hasn't she? Never mind 2026 by writing poems.
Good, isn't it,
I think
this?
Andrea should write a book of poems.
So on the last one we did a forfeit. We're too poorly to do any forfeit, so like that. But I do love it. I love this poem, right? So listen to this. Have you found it is the case that old things sometimes have no place? They're cast aside upon a heap, no patience people have to keep. That's when those folk with open eyes step forth and grab for them a prize. The tatty old, discarded few, the scratch, the torn, the not brand new. And with the love and care and DIY, there is no earthly reason why every home can find a place for a battered old vintage suitcase. Isn't that
Love
cool?
it, innit?
I love that. Thank you so much, Andrea. So yeah, the reason it's called Andrea is we did ask for names, and Andrea had messaged and said, "Oh, can I have a suitcase?" And then somebody else did, and that's why that one's called Dolly. So that one's Dolly, the one on the left, this one's Andrea. And then I said on one of the vlogs before Christmas, I said, didn't I, Emma? I said, oh,
Let's get names
let's
for the
get
rest of
names,
them.
and the comments just came in.
But now we're going to have to do a prize draw.
So I
or
don't know,
something.
yeah, I don't know whether it's going to be a prize draw, because obviously we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, we've only got 6 suitcases. And there were like, I don't know, there were like people emailing
There
us,
were
there were messages on
loads.
social media, there were comments like, can I have a suitcase named? And I didn't want it to be unfair, like, you know, I didn't want it to be unfair. So we're going to have a think about how to do it fairly, I suppose. If you want a suitcase, how random is it? You want a suitcase named after you in Romany. But yeah, thank you so much, Andrea. That's really nice, is that? Thank you. I remember somebody once telling me like a little parable. I like parables. And I've always kind of like really lived by it. And it's this: if somebody offered you $1 million, would you take it? And obviously you go, yeah, thank you, cheers. And then you put it in perspective and you say, yeah, but the deal is if you take that $1 million, you only get 24 hours to live. Would you still take it? And the answer is obviously no, meaning that every 24 hours, every single day that we get to enjoy and appreciate is worth more than $1 million. And I've always loved that. I've always like lived by it. And so that I'm going to keep that in my mind as I go into 2026. But there's so much kind of coming up on Romany Pirates in 2026 that we can't literally itching to share with you. It's just going to be an amazing year. Will it have its ups and downs? Yeah, of course it will. Will it have its challenges? Absolutely. We're going to face things that we're not expecting. Of course we are. But we're just going to try and keep smiling like we always do, and keep smiling through, as my nan used to say. And just try and appreciate and absolutely maximise this as though it were our last year on earth. That's what we're going to do.
We hope you've really enjoyed this week. I hope you've enjoyed kind of thinking, reflecting back on your last year and looking forward to what you want to happen this year. And hopefully you've got some plans in place of things that you want to do. Some of the stuff I want to do is to get this van finished. That is 100% something that I want to do. But try not to put too much pressure on yourself, guys. Try and like just take things a step at a time, you know. There's always time to do things in there, so just take things a step at a time. And I'm going to try and get this van finished over the next few weeks so we can actually do a proper full van tour coming up.
And if you are wanting to start van life and you think, oh, it might be for me, but you've got some worries about kind of how to find park-ups and things like that, you can join us on Tuesday at 8 p.m. where we've got an episode coming up, hopefully that's going to be really helpful to you guys. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to join our little community, hit that subscribe button, hit the hype button and the like button. And we'll see you on Tuesday, guys. I'm so sorry that our throats are still so bad. We're so poorly, so we haven't been our usual bouncy, energetic selves, I don't think. But hopefully you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching and keep writing your own story. We'll see you on Tuesday.